Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. Today we will be canning applesauce. Hi everybody, my name is Kim and you're at Kim's Cozy Corner. Last week I was on vacation and I was in a very small town just outside of Henderson, that's not right, Harrisonburg, just outside of Harrisonburg, Virginia. And I go there every year, every other year to this small town. And while I'm there, there is a farm there that has the best fruit. And y'all, I picked up 2 bushels of apples again from them this year. And now that I have the apples, and there was a good deal on the apples because some of them were getting really, really ripe. So I got 2 bushels. And now it's time for us to make applesauce. Now, when I'm not going to Harrisonburg or just outside of Harrisonburg, I usually go to a local farm here in Southwest Ohio where I'm from to get my apples. But we had a horrible season here. We got a late frost and it really messed up most of the apples in our area. And I prefer Honeycrisp. Honeycrisp is hard to find, and when you can find it in our area, it's super expensive. But I got a good deal, y'all. So we got 1.5 bushels of Honeycrisp apples, and I got a 1/2 bushel of Pink Lady. And all of my applesauce will be made with those varieties today. We're going to use a recipe out of this book here. It's the book I'm always showing you. My hot sauce recipe fell out, y'all. Hot sauce is coming. Y'all just hang tight. It's coming. But anyway, we are going to make applesauce with no sugar. We're going to have a nice tart applesauce with no sugar. So the only ingredients we need are apples and lemon juice. That's really it. That's all you need. There's one other ingredient we're going to use just because apples brown quickly. Very, very quickly. Once you slice that apple open and it gets to the air, it'll brown very quickly. So we will be using the Ball Fresh Fruit Preserve Anti-Browning. What is it called? Fresh Fruit Protector. Prevents browning and protects flavor of fresh cut produce. So we will be using this as well as the lemon juice. And y'all, when I finish my applesauce, y'all, it's good. People think there's sugar in it, and there's no sugar in my applesauce. This is the healthiest applesauce I've ever seen. The recipe calls for 12 pounds of apples. I have 112 pounds of apples. And it calls for, if you want sugar, it's optional, but it's up to you. But you can put 3 cups of sugar, optional or less, however you want to do it. And you're going to need 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. That's the recipe. I might not do it exactly like that, but that is the approved recipe. 12 pounds of apples, 3 cups of sugar, optional, and 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And it should give you about 4 quarts of applesauce or 8 pints of applesauce. But since I'm making 112 pounds minus the ones we've already eaten, and we ate a lot and I gave some away. So minus the few that, are in our bellies or I've given away, it's going to be a lot of applesauce. So I'm going to have to run both of my canners. I'm going to run my 12-quart Presto digital canner as well as my 23-quart Presto digital canner. No, I cannot. I cannot water bath in this canner a quart jar. I can only water bath can pint jars. So we'll just have to do some pint jars too. So we'll have the quart jars going in the big one, and we'll have some pint jars going over here in the small one because I got to keep it moving. We will be boiling our pint jars and quart jars for 20 minutes. It doesn't matter, pint or quart, for 20 minutes. So y'all, let's get busy. Now, y'all, I just said I got 112 pounds of apples. There is no way I'm going to peel and core and quarter that by hand. That's not going to happen. So let me show you the apple core, the pillar core hickamabob that I got over here that I'm going to use for the apples. So these Honeycrisp apples, y'all, before I go over there, the Honeycrisp apples were regularly $25 for a half bushel, or what was it, 48 for a bushel or something like that. I was able to get a bushel for 40. So that's why we got 2 bushels, by the way. But anyway, let me show you what's going on over here. So I'm all set up over here, ready to go. I have my roaster over here, and this is where I'm going to put the apples once I peel, core, and slice them. So they're going to go over here. This is my Johnny apple peeler right here. This is what we're going to use to core and peel the apples at the same time and slice them at the same time. And then we'll put them over here. I'm going to keep working my way over. Right here is where I'm going to take the spiral slices, cut them in half, and put them over in the canner. These apples are already washed and ready to be processed. And I have a sink full over here that we're in the process of washing. So I kind of got my station set up the way I want them, and we're going to just get started. In the bottom of my roaster, I have just a little bit of water to keep the apples from sticking to the bottom. Once the apples start making juice, it'll fill up, right? I don't want to put too much water in there because then my applesauce will taste watery. So here we go. That's a big one. Let's start with a small one so I don't mess up. I got to remember my process here, but I can't remember which end we put in first. I have this on very low. It's on 200. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. I don't remember which side I'm supposed to. Let's go this way because I don't remember. And then I push up until I get here, and then I just start spinning. I have the pan here so it can catch the peelings. It doesn't always catch all of them, but there it is. There it is. And right on the tips, y'all, it normally doesn't do a good job right on the ends, depending on the way the apple is. And so what I normally do with that, I can just go ahead and put it in here and cook it because I'm going to blend it up anyway and it'll go away. Or I do a quality test to make sure the apple's in good shape. Yep, this one's good. Anyway, see, there's my apple right there. Already cut up. Cut it in half. Put it in a roaster. That's it. Now, once I get a few in the bottom here, I'm going to go ahead and put some of that anti-browning stuff so the apples don't brown. Last year, I made apple jelly from the skins and the cores, and y'all, it was really good. I went back and got an extra batch of apples just so I can try it out, and it was really, really good. So I haven't decided yet if I want to do that this time. So I am going to keep the cores for now and the skins while I make that decision. And just so you know, I'm not the only one going to do quality test. Just wait for it. My family will be in here talking about, I need to do a quality test. Now, I have apple juice going everywhere when I do this, y'all. And I do mean going everywhere. That looks pretty good. All right. Let's do a few more. That was a pretty big apple too, y'all. I will be using my Vitamix blender to mix them up when the time comes. Let me share one more thing. This Johnny apple peeler, it has a suction that holds it to the counter, and y'all, it ain't going nowhere. I mean, nowhere at all. Never had an issue with it. other than I cut my hand on it a couple years ago. But no issue with it staying put during the process. I will have links to it down below. That's if I can still find it, because I've had it for many years at this point. So if I can still find it, I will make sure I put a link to it. If I can't find it, one of the things that you'll find is that in the description on my channel, I put links to everything that's on Amazon. But everybody don't want to go to all of that. So if you go to my store, you'll be able to get things that I was able to find my brand or my variety or something similar. But if you want the exact item I have, you're going to have to go to the links that are on Amazon. And the links are in the description. Couple more, and we can start treating over here a little bit. So you see the apples are almost covering the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of the protectant in. And then I'm going to mix it up. And you can see there's a few skins in there, but y'all, I don't worry about it that closely. There's just a teeny little bit of water in the bottom, but the apples are already starting to juice a little bit. Now we still need to add lemon juice, but I don't have to add it just yet. So now you know my process. So I'm going to keep, oh, there's a cut on my hand. That hurts. I'm going to keep going. And I will bring you back when I get to the next step, which is going to be in a while, because I'm going to fill this all the way up before we talk about getting it ready for canning. All right, y'all. I have one 18-quart roaster full of apples. And I believe that is about a half a bushel, I believe, because I got a lot of apples left, y'all. I may have bought too many apples, but the first one's done. Well, it's not done, it's cooking. So now I've put the lemon juice in. I've sprinkled some of my protection, the fruit fresh produce protector on it. I've mixed it up. And now we just need the apples to soften. I'm cooking them on 300 because I don't want them to burn or stick or anything like that. I left them down around 200, 250 until it was completely full. Now that it's full, I turned it up to 300, and I'm just going to slowly heat them up. I'm really not trying to cook them. I just want them soft. And then we'll put them in the blender and turn it into some luscious applesauce. So we'll be cooking like this for probably about 20 minutes. And then I will bring you back for the next step. And y'all, I did eat a lot of apples. I ate a lot of apples. We probably won't have dinner today. All right, y'all, the apples are getting very tender, so we're getting close to time to put those in our blender and puree them. So I'm going to go ahead and get my canners started. It says that we will water bath can for 20 minutes. It doesn't matter if we're talking pints or quarts. It's going to be 20 minutes regardless. So and I'm going to have to use both canners just because I want to hurry this along. So we are water bath canning, yep. We're going to do it for 20 minutes. I've already inserted my jars. And now these jars are warming, and we need to do the same thing on the other canner. All right, so quart jars are in the other one. In this one, we have pint jars because that's all I can water bath can in this one. It's too short to do quart jars, so pint jars is all I can do. All right, we are going to water bath can, 20 minutes. I've already inserted the jars. Now they're warming. Let me show you the apples. Y'all, they smell good. But anyway, I know they're ready because they've released their juices. So when I first started, y'all, all I had was just a teeny little water in the bottom. But now they're soft. they're like halfway up with juice. So that means they are ready for me to move to the next step, which means I'm going to get my blender out so we can blend these up. If you were adding sugar, which I'm not, you would want to blend it all up, put it back in the roaster, add your sugar, mix it up, and then put it in the jars. But I'm not putting any sugar in. So I've already put in, oh yeah, if you hadn't already, put your lemon juice in, but I have. I've already added my lemon juice. And so actually I'm ready to go. So when I get ready to blend this up, I'm going to go straight from the blender, straight into the jars and into the canners. So here we go. Nice. And initially I had to stir this a lot. So because I only put a teeny little bit of water in the bottom, I had to stir it a lot to keep mixing the I can't say tomatoes, the apples that are on top, to get them down on the bottom so that I could make sure that they were all cooking at the same time. Now I could have put more water in here, but then I would have had to cook the water out, and I didn't want to do that. I only want apple juice making the liquid for my applesauce. But she's ready, y'all. And she tastes good. You would not believe that there's no sugar in this at all. And this is the 3rd year that I've done them this way with no sugar. When I added sugar, my family didn't like it. And then if I pureed them too much, they didn't like it. So we got this down now. And this is the way we will be cooking them going forward. And I do have a few skins, like I was telling you before, on here. But y'all, the skins are not going to hurt you. The 1 or 2 little pieces of skin, when I put them in the blender, it's going to pulverize it. So they won't be there at the end of the day. So that's why I'm not worried about a sliver of skin here or there. All right. I'm going to put the top back on and start getting set up so we can can this stuff up. Okay, it's time for us to go ahead and start pureeing these apples. My jars are hot in both canners. They're ready for me, but I need to puree first. And so we are going to go straight from the apples into the blender, into the jars. The key to doing this, though, I got to make sure that I get enough liquid so it's not too dry. I don't want to waste all my liquid on the cabinet either. There we go. So I have liquid about halfway up, and I'm filled up as much as possible anyway. I think this is 8 cups. Yeah, it's 8 cups. And then I'm about halfway up with the liquid. There are puree settings on here. I'm not going to use that though, because my family doesn't like their applesauce super smooth. They like it just a little, not chunky, but not smooth. How about that? Not smooth. So we're going to puree it. I mean, not puree it. We're going to pulse it. Just until we get there. And now this is ready to go in a jar. Let me go grab them. I was getting ready to bring my jars over there, but I can bring them over here to the canner. All of the water is going back in the canner. These jars get hotter than the ones in the other canner. Let's start with these 3. So put our little funnel on here and fill it up. I think it's a 1/2 inch of head space is what it said. And then we'll do the next one. And now all I got to do is go fill this up and do the same process again until I fill all my jars up. So I will be back. I may not need those pint jars because these apples may all fit in the other one. We need to wipe the rims. I still have a little bit left, so we're going to move over to the pint jars in just a minute, but we'll go ahead and get this one going. This canner isn't quite as fast as the other one. And I mean, y'all, I'm talking like a minute, not that slow. But nonetheless, it takes longer to heat up to get it going. And it's because of the aluminum. It cools off, heats up, does it all at the same time, y'all. All right, let's get our lids on. Oh, and I should have got the air bubbles out, y'all. But it's mostly liquid. I'm not going to worry about it. But I should have debubbled as well, but I didn't. Doesn't it have a pretty color, though? Very pretty. Since we're water bath canning, we have to fill the jar or the canner to an inch above the jars. So we're going to have to add some water. I'm going to just get warm or hot tap water because we're almost there already. This holds 7 quart jars. We're filling it up an inch above, if I don't spill it all on the floor, an inch above the jars. All right, we can put our lid on. The lid is on. All I got to do is say, go. And now it's off doing its thing. But y'all, we got to finish getting the rest of this applesauce into the other canner. So we ended up with 4 pints and a piece. So this piece, I don't have to wipe the rims because we're going to put that in the refrigerator and enjoy it. Because it's done. It's ready to be eaten. It's applesauce. But these other 4, we're going to water bath can for 20 minutes. Got to fill the water all the way up. Let's put the top on. And all I got to do is hit next. So now it's heating as well. So y'all, let's taste the applesauce. Oh, God, y'all. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. No water. It's just apples and the apple juices and a little bit of lemon. Lemon juice, I should say. This might not make it to the refrigerator. But anyway, I will bring you back and I will show you how good the jars look when I take them out. And if you notice, the color is perfect. But when we get them out the canner, I'm going to show you how the color is still perfect. So I'll bring you back here shortly. All right, y'all, they are done. So this one finished first by about 3 minutes before the other one. I don't know why this one goes faster than the other one, but, oh, and they're pint jars. So there's only 4 pint jars versus that one over there that has 7 quart jars. But there it is, y'all. This last batch had more liquid in it than the first batches, and you can see a line where the liquids and the meat is. But when you mix it up, it's perfect. Just wanted to prove it to you. So here's the full quart jar, and you see, you don't see that separation because I didn't have too much liquid in these. There it is, y'all. I started with 18 quarts of apples and I ended up with 7 quarts and 4 pints and just a little bit. And y'all, I already done ate most of the little bit. But that's our canning project for the day. These are going to seal. They're going to go and they're going to be sealed, ready to go. And we'll enjoy this all this winter and all up to next year until apple season comes around again. Now, y'all, this is not enough. We go through probably 1 jar every couple of weeks or so. So I really need like 26 quarts. I have 7. So we might be rationing, but y'all, I still got what, a bushel and a half of apples to go through. So we're going to make a lot more, y'all. You'll get to see everything that I've canned this year. Later on, I'll do a pantry tour so you can see everything that's in the pantry. And I have a ton of stuff in the pantry from last year. That's why we're focusing on applesauce and not apple butter. So there will not be an apple butter video this year, but I have videos from last year on how to make apple butter. But anyway, that's it for today with us playing with some apples. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, giving me a thumbs up if you don't do anything else to let me know that I am sharing what you want to see. And in the comments, let me know what else you want to see me can, and I will do my best to do that for you. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you choose to hang out with me at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.